what the Eagles are going to try to do.
Yeah, so what will the Eagles offense look like? I think that they are going to attack the 49ers in much the same way that they came out in week 1 and really try to run over San Francisco. That is my prediction. So when you look at what they did in week 1, they operated primarily in the run pass option with quick screen passes to get it out to their playmakers in space, as you were saying there, and really very few intermediate and really no deep shots on Sunday. I think that
for a touchdown, and then pretty much that was
and
it.
Even that wasn't that far downfield, right?
No, so it wasn't.
And then the breakdown of how they actually lined up, just to throw this out there for context, out of 67 offensive plays, 40 of them were in 11 personnel with 1 tight end, 1 running back, 18 in 12 personnel, 8 in 13 personnel with 3 tight ends on the field, and 1 in 21 personnel. So it does appear
40 in nickel, I guess, and then the other 30-ish plus again is going to be against your base. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, it sets up perfectly for another run-first attack with the Eagles. And to me, I think that what you're looking at is the 49ers truly being tested. Obviously, they have an elite defensive line. I don't think that that's in question here. I think everyone would admit it's a very deep defensive line, and it is a very talented defensive line. Perhaps you will disagree with that statement.
I don't know.
But I think that the question mark is going to be, can the linebackers hold up in this matchup? Because we know that the scheme is going to be to protect the cornerbacks, right? That is our weakness, is the secondary for sure. So you have to think that we're going to game plan around that. The question for me is whether the linebackers are going to be able to are going to be gap sound on Sunday and be able to match up against the Eagles.
See, I'm more concerned about the defensive tackles. It seems to me that the Eagles have a very good offensive line, and what they can do is what the Lions have a very good offensive line too. And they were able to run between the tackles because they were just blowing those defensive tackles off the ball. Kinlaw didn't play. And I think you're seeing that the Niners really want Kinlaw and Armstead to play this game. I think they felt they could win without them, without Kinlaw in particular against the Lions, and they were right. But this game's going to be much, much closer. And if Kinlaw doesn't play, the Niners are going to have a lot of trouble stopping the run because Street, Givens, Kerr, all these guys were getting moved around by double teams. Everyone except for DJ Jones, pretty much. So I do think they're going to look to run over the Niners, and they're going to have a very difficult rushing attack. I mean, what they do, they basically have – here's what you need to know about the Eagles. Nick Sirianni's been the offensive coordinator for the Colts the last 3 years. So there's a whole track record on what he does. And he runs the ball a lot. And he's been running the ball a lot. I mean, that's why Phillip Rivers wanted to go there. It's like, look, this is a really good offensive line and run game. He had success with Jacoby Brissett. You understand? Like, and these quarterbacks are not part of the run game. So now you have a guy who has a natural he's been working out of the shotgun anyway. And he's been running the ball effectively with quarterbacks who aren't part of that. Now you've got Jalen Hurts in there. It's going to be a very good running game. And the Niners ran for 120-something yards. This team ran for 160. Both teams are facing terrible, terrible defenses. But don't take this running game for granted. It's a coach who is committed to it, has had success with it. He's got a really good running back, a quarterback who is one of the better quarterback runners in the league, and a very good offensive line. And the way they do it too, you called it an ARP. It's like, I call them SROs, screen run options. It's like the fake run, and then if it's not there, you pull it back, and instead of running, you throw the screen. Those are layups, easy throws for a young quarterback, and it forces Diamador Lenore to make a tackle, Josh Norman to make a tackle. Like, God forbid Ambry Thomas, like Josh Norman gets hurt and Ambry Thomas has to come in this game, because all he's going to get, forget coverage. All he's going to get is screens to him, and you got to tackle 4-3 runners, and if you miss, it's touchdown. So that's one of the reasons I don't think Ambry Thomas is going to start in this game. I mean, they're going to force these DBs to tackle on the perimeter.
That's absolutely true.
Although these are extension of the run game. Yeah.
These are slightly undersized wide receivers.
Yes.
And so that is a little comforting. And Ambry Thomas's seems to be that his weakness is he needs to pack on some pounds, right? When you look at his frame out there on the field, he does seem to be skinnier than you want when he's
Yeah.
going to make that tackle.
Yeah.
It Yeah, to me there are some things to be optimistic about that I saw within the game on Sunday, and that was the idea that Sirianni is really attempting to put his players in the best chance to be successful, and I think that may make them a bit more predictable on offense. Now, the RPO or the SRO is certainly going to complicate that to some degree, but for example, he recognized Whiteside as a fairly below average pass catcher, but a phenomenal run blocker. And so when he's in the game, when you have those tight end heavy sets in the game, I think you're going to see a slightly predictable game plan that you know when the runs are coming, and thereby helping the 49ers to diagnose what they have in front of them. I didn't think that the Falcons did a good job of diagnosing that, but with a week of game film on what Sirianni is doing, if they don't change up the game plan, to me that strikes as an advantage from a experienced 49er team.
And, the Niners are going to look to avoid the Eagles pass rush because it's really good, obviously. I mean, the Eagles are going to do the same thing with the Niners. And we saw how their offense is going to look. Quick passes, not trying to throw down the field. When he has the ball, he's in the shotgun, ball's out. And a lot of times it's balls out, screens. So what you're going to get is the Niners chasing screens left and right. And that's exhausting. Eric Armstead, you got an abductor that hurts. Now chase 40 screens, or not 40, 10. Bosa, chase 10 screens and let's see what kind of pass rush you got in the fourth quarter. And then when they finally do drop him back on like 3rd and 6, he'll have a read to throw, but if there's any daylight for him to scramble, he'll take it, and so that it's going to be very difficult for the part of the Eagles looking to run the Niners over is the scrambling. I mean, the thing what I've been watching with Hurts is they'll call a couple of zone reads where he runs so that it's in the Niners' head and they have to honor it, but most of his runs are scrambles. He's very willing to scramble, and he's very freaking good at it.
He is. He's a talented runner, and I anticipate that the Eagles will gash the 49ers defense this weekend. I think that we are destined to see that. I think that it will be in the run game. I think that it'll be difficult for the 49ers to stop it, even recognizing what's going to come. Let me throw this out there and tell me if you agree with this strategy. I was trying to think, if I put myself in the 49ers shoes, how do I go about attempting to stop this? And it took me back to the 2012 Super Bowl with the Ravens, wondering whether we attack them in the way that the Ravens defense attacked Kaepernick.
I see what you're saying. Like punish them for running the zone read. That's a good idea. I think it could work. But I don't know how many opportunities the Niners will have to do that. A lot of his runs are scrambles. And so what I think that's a great strategy, and they should do that for sure. I think there's more things they need to do. And we were talking from the beginning of this topic, defensive linemen versus linebackers. I feel this is a defensive lineman responsibility. I feel like there's two, and D'Amico. There's a couple of things here. I've talked to Robert Saleh about the wide 9. He implemented it in 2019 specifically for offenses like the Rams, who had a guy like Jared Goff in a one-back running game, okay?
Yeah.
It's what it's for. It's not really for offenses that are run-first attacks that have a quarterback who can run. If you watch in 2019 when they went and played the Ravens, they did not use the wide 9. They did not use. They used a 5-man front. It seems to me if you use this really spread out gimmick attack that's really designed for something else, you could get gashed, and it's not your player's fault. So there's that. And I want to see D'Amico, if it doesn't work, if Kinlaw isn't effective, if the wide 9 isn't working, what else can you go to? Because the Eagles have a lot of different fronts. They're a 4-3 team, but in this last game, they were playing 3-4-2. They were playing 3-4 as well. And they will have 3-4 looks against the Niners because that's the most effective way to stop the Jimmy Garoppolo run game. It's what the Dolphins did last year when you play basically 2 guys set the edge, pack the middle. Don't let the Niners double team with their center and guards, put 3 guys on those 3 guys. It's a very effective way to stop that running game. So the Eagles can do that. What is your changeup, D'Amico? That's big.
Yeah.
The other thing real quick on the scrambles, that's on the DNs. You can't rush too far upfield because what Jalen Hurts does is he drops back, boom, steps up. And now he can go up and right, go up. And what I like about it is he climbs the pocket and goes out. So they need to basically Don't go for the sack. Don't go too far upfield. Make him try to spin out and behind because Bosa can run him down that way. Ebukam can run him down that way. Ford can run him down that way. But if you let him get up and out, it's over. You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. That's what they let with Bosa does it too. Last year when they lost to Kyler week 1, there was that 3rd and 18 when Kyler ran for 20. It was on Bosa's side. He ran too far upfield. You got to know who you're rushing. You want him throwing on 3rd and 18, not running. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I think that is a valid concern. I believe that the 49ers defense is the more talented unit on the field in comparison to the Philadelphia offense. But that doesn't matter if you're not disciplined in your rush. That's because Hurts could do some serious damage against us if we are undisciplined and create 4-lane highways for him to run through.
Those are layups for him. Make him execute from the pocket. What he's doing right now is getting the ball and throwing quick 1-read throws from the pocket. Make him actually take a 5-step drop and make a full field read from the pocket. That's not what he wants to do. That's not what they want him to do.
And scheme up coverages in such a way that you are able to get hits on the quarterback. If you can't dirty up his uniform a little bit in this game, if he gets too comfortable back there, it's going to be a long afternoon. You really got to be, whether you sack him or not is almost, out of what I'm saying here. I mean, you just got to hit the guy.
They got to do zone blitzes. They can't afford to rush. I mean, you'd like to rush 5 because that negates a gap and it makes it much more difficult to scramble. It pretty much creates a little cage 5-on-5. But if you do that, you need to play man coverage, and he can he can make quick throws to good receivers who can win. So I think what you could do is zone coverages where you drop people out and overload one side and try to confuse Jalen Hurts. You could try that. You definitely need to get some pressure.
Yeah, you're essentially daring him to make that throw under pressure and see if he can make a quality throw in that scenario, because we really didn't see that last week. So let's get in his face and let's see if he doesn't toss up a duck.